Nazareth. Reza, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. It's great to be here. Great to be here. I had to check to see if I was sitting on a butt plug or anything.
Well.
No, it's over there. All right.
Yeah, it is green, so.
We're good.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's Islamic.
Yes,
it's a jihadist butt plug.
You know, I wasn't going to ask you about the butt plug because I thought it was beneath you, but...
to be Christian.
That's because by the way, that's because Sam Harris's research methodology is the television. Okay? That's Sam Harris's research.
I think Sam's view is perfectly legitimate if your research tools are Fox News.
I want to clarify, you're a Muslim, so why did you write a book about the founder of Christianity?
Well, to be clear, I am a scholar of religions with 4 degrees, including one in the New Testament and fluency in Biblical Greek, who has been studying the origins of Christianity for 2 decades, who also just happens to be a Muslim. So it's not that I'm just some Muslim writing about Jesus. I am an expert with a PhD in the history of religions.
I mean, there's nothing more distasteful than an academic having to like trot out his credentials. I mean, you really come off as a jerk when you do that. But
for a lot of these new atheists, whether we're talking about Dawkins or Harris or what have you, is a complete misunderstanding of religion in general, a total misunderstanding of what religion is, how it's lived, the difference between the scripture and the lived experience of a community of faith.
I find something intellectually dishonest about talking about the morality of the Bible, of a text written 3,000 years ago that seems to endorse slavery, an idea that had absolutely no moral quality to it whatsoever 3,000 years ago. There's a problem, I think, by citing something like that and then therefore rejecting the entire text or any aspect of morality that it may or may not prescribe that does or does not coincide with our 21st century conception of what morality may be. By that argument, well, the Quran actually forbids slavery, so therefore the Quran is a more moral text than the Bible? Of course not. Well, the Quran actually forbids slavery. So Zawahiri, and I'm so glad that you brought this up, because Zawahiri wasn't a jihadist until he was placed in the dank and sadistic prisons of Egypt and tortured, and then when he came out, then he became a jihadist.
Well, that's actually
I in
not
no
true.
way. No, it's absolutely true.
Well,
he was a member.
Read The Looming Tower.
I know Lawrence Wright. We've talked about this. He himself, Zawahiri, was of course a member of the Muslim Brotherhood, but the Muslim Brotherhood is not a jihadist organization.
Close enough, by my lights.
That again indicates the profound unsophistication that you have about this region, to think that there is a connection between the Muslim Brotherhood in Egypt and Al-Qaeda, that they are exactly the same thing. Or
I'm not saying they're the same thing, but
that they're close
the ideology is so close in its divisiveness.
You could not be more wrong in that case.
Well, we've read the same book.
This is not the issue.
Well, I think there's a fundamental mistake in your definition of true. Your definition of true is that which can be factually verified. Your definition of true is barely 300 years old. Do you know that? That the very concept of what you and I refer to when we say the word true is 300 years old. True in the ancient world had very little to do with facts.
And there are 1.5 billion Muslims in the world, the vast majority of whom do not live in the traditional Arab and Muslim world in the Middle East. And indeed, there are more Muslims in the deserts of sub-Saharan Africa than there are people in the entire Arab world. And for that matter, we would have to blame science for whatever horrors were created in its names, for Hitler's eugenics experience. But there's a reason why I don't write books about neuroscience, because I don't have an expertise in neuroscience. I write books about what's going on in the Muslim world because I have an expertise in what's going on in the Muslim world. I'm in a better position to sort of make judgments about what sort of socio or religious or political developments are taking place within this people of 1.5 billion number. Statements like there are millions of Muslims who have this sort of death cult are profoundly inaccurate.
Because I'm a liberal, I'm a secularist, I'm a progressive.